Flying Ford Anglia, most of us immediately picture the bright blue car flying alongside the Hogwarts Express. That image is so iconic that it's easy to forget how differently the car is treated in the books compared to the films. In the books, specifically Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the Ford Anglia isn't really defined by how it looks. Its colour is barely important at all. What matters is what it becomes. Arthur Weasley enchants the car out of curiosity and affection for Muggle inventions. There's a brilliant exchange between Arthur and Molly, where Molly calls him out for claiming he only wanted to see how it worked, or secretly enchanting it to fly. That moment perfectly sums up Arthur's character. Well-meaning, brilliant, just a little reckless. The car isn't created as a heroic object. It's created casually. Something meant to sit at the Burrow, magically expanded on the inside, capable of carrying the entire Weasley family, their trunks, and even their pets. It's a part of everyday life, blending magic and normality in a very Weasley way. The context matters because where the car is later misused, it isn't some legendary magical artifact. It's a family vehicle that has been pushed too far. In the book, the rescue from 4 Privet Drive is quiet and tense. Harry is trapped, isolated and cut off from the wizarding world. The car arrives in the dark as a lifeline. It represents escape. In the film, the same moment becomes a magical and uplifting. The blue Ford Anglia floats into view, with Ron, Fred and George occupying the vehicle. The bars are then torn from the window and the music swells. Harry's escape is framed as his first joyful flight. The fear is softened into wonder. The story is the same, but the feeling is different. The book focused on fear and isolation. The film focused on freedom and joy. In the book, Harry and Ron's decision to fly the car to Hogwarts feels desperate. They've missed the train, the barrier won't open, and they're terrified of being left behind. The flight itself is long, stressful, and uncomfortable. It feels like a mistake unfolding in real time. In the film, this becomes one of the most iconic images in the entire series. The Ford Anglia soaring alongside the Hogwarts Express is playful, cinematic, and unforgettable. The danger is still there, but it's wrapped in humour and spectacle. Again, the contrast is clear. The book treats it as a bad decision driven by panic. The film turns it into an adventurous set piece. In the book, the crash into the Whomping Willow is humiliating and serious. The tree attacks violently, Ron's wand breaks, and the consequences rippled outward. Arthur Weasley faces an inquiry at work, and later he's fined for bewitching a Muggle car. There's no comedy in the aftermath, just embarrassment and consequences. In the film, the Whomping Willow scene is chaotic and exaggerated. The tree feels almost slapstick, and the car itself appears angry, sulking, and expressive. The moment is still dangerous, but it's played with far more humour than the book. This is the turning point in both versions, the moment where the car stops behaving like a normal object. After the crash, the car ejects Harry and Ron and drives itself into the Forbidden Forest. From this point on, the book treats it less like a vehicle, and more like a creature that's slipped beyond human control. That transformation becomes fully clear during the encounter with Aragog. In the book, Harry and Ron are trapped, surrounded by spiders, with no spell, no escape. The Ford Anglia returned on its own, wild, aggressive, and almost feral. It attacks the spiders, rescues them, and then disappears back into the forest forever. The car isn't summoned, it chooses to return. In the film, this moment is turned into a dramatic, heroic reveal. The blue car bursts through the spider like a guardian, headlights blazing, saving them at the last possible second. The visual storytelling makes the car feel alive. In both versions, this is the car's final act. And at the moment that confirms is no longer just enchanted, but independent. Behind the scenes, the importance of the Ford Anglia is reflected in how the films were made. Around 16 different Anglias were used during production. Some mounted on rigs for flying shots, others reinforced for crashes, and some deliberately aged to look as though they'd been living in the Forbidden Forest for years. That level of effort shows how central the car was as a visual symbol. What's really beautiful is that all of this traces back to something J.K. Rowling herself had spoken about. Her own memories of a Ford Anglia, representing freedom, escape, and independence in her youth. That personal connection explains why the car feels emotionally significant, even though it's just the vehicle. So when LEGO recreates the Flying Ford Anglia, they're recreating the film version, the blue, expressive, iconic car, but the deeper meaning still comes from the books. The idea that something created playfully or carelessly can grow beyond its purpose, and sometimes even come back to save you. For me, That's why the set works well. It isn't just a car. It's a symbol of family escape, mistakes, consequences, and in the darkest moment, unexpected help. Now, this brings me on to the Lego section. The Flying Ford Anglia story doesn't stop with the books and films. It carries through into the Lego world as well, where its role becomes a kind of playful summary of everything it represents. In Lego Harry Potter, years 1 to 4, the Anglia closely follows its major story beats from the Chamber of Secrets. During the escape from Privet Drive, the car is used to pull the bars off Harry's windows, allowing him to escape the Dursleys, echoing the book's sense of rescue and the film's visual clarity. Later during the journey to Hogwarts, Harry and Ron fly the car towards the school, weaving through obstacles before inevitably crashing into the Whomping Willow. Just like in the story, it feels chaotic, unavoidable, and a bad decision you can see unfolding but can't stop. The Whomping Willow cutscene mirrors the film closely. The car crashes, ejects the characters and their luggage, and then drives itself away into the Forbidden Forest, reinforcing the idea that it's no longer under human control. Much later in the Follow the Spiders section, the Ford Anglia returns to rescue Harry, Ron and Fang from Aragog's children. In a uniquely Lego twist, Ron drives the car while Harry escapes alongside on a blue scooter. Playful, slightly absurd, but still faithful to the heart of the moment, the car returning when it's needed most. In Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7, the Anglia no longer plays a major role, but it does make a small cameo appearances, particularly around the Forbidden Forest. These moments quietly reinforce the idea that the car has made the forest its home, now a wild magical creature rather than a family vehicle. Even in Lego form, the Anglia story stays consistent. It starts as a tool, becomes a problem, and ends as something independent. Magic that's grown beyond its original purpose. The same evolution is reflected in the Lego sets themselves. The first major appearance came in 2002 with Escape from Privet Drive set 4728. This was one of the very first Lego Harry Potter sets ever made, released alongside the Chamber of Secrets. It focused entirely on the rescue scene, framing the Anglia as fun, mischievous escape vehicle. This car in the set is a small and blocky, very much early 2000s Lego. Its bright blue clearly follows the film design and built for action play rather than accuracy. Today it's valued mainly for nostalgia, not detail, but it's important because it established the Flying Ford Anglia as a Lego icon. In 2018, Lego revisited the moment from a different angle with Hogwarts Whomping Willow set 75953. Here, the focus isn't the car, it's the crash. The set leans heavily into play features, the spinning tree, the trap mechanisms, and the chaos of the scene. The Anglia itself is more detailed from the 2002 version that is deliberately secondary. It exists to be smashed, trapped, and ejected. Lego is reinforcing the same idea as the story. The car isn't heroic here, it's a part of a mistake and a turning point. Then, in 2024, Lego did something very different with the Flying Ford Anglia, set 76424. For the first time, the car became the focus. This set is a smaller, cleaner, and far more deliberate. It's film accurate in colour, smoother in shape, and clearly designed for display rather than play. It treats the Anglia as not as a toy or a gag, but as a symbol, something to be built calmly and appreciated. That shift mirrors how many people now engage with Lego as a way to slow down, reflect, and reconnect with stories they love. It is also why this set fits so naturally with the calm builds and mental health focused content. There are rumours and expectations that Lego may revisit the Flying Ford Anglia again in the future, possibly in a more enchanted or display focused way, but nothing official has been confirmed. If it does happen, it will feel like a natural next step in the car's evolution. Across books, films, games, and Lego sets, the Flying Ford Anglia follows the same arc. It starts as a family vehicle, it becomes a problem, and it ends as something independent. That's why this set and this car resonate so deeply. It isn't just about magic or nostalgia, it's about mistakes, consequences, growth, and unexpected help arriving when everything feels lost. And that's what makes the Flying Ford Anglia such a perfect place to start, not only for this channel, but for first-time or returning Lego builders just like myself. So, before I wrap this up, I'd like to rate each set in a simple few ways, all out of 5. Firstly, I'd like to rate the set on how it looks. Personally, for me, that's going to be a 5 out of 5. I think the actual design itself is excellent, and I think it definitely portrays what the movie is trying to portray as well. I definitely recommend it just on looks alone. Next is the build experience, and whether I personally enjoyed it, how long it took, and whether it felt relaxing or a bit tricky in places. And for me personally, I'm going to be rating it 5 out of 5. Someone who's getting back into Lego, a nice small set to start off with. And it didn't take too long, if I'm honest with you as well. It's really enjoyable, and it being Harry Potter as well just made it a little bit more exciting. Then there's nostalgia. Did it bring me back to the books, the movies, or even the games you grew up on? And for me, I'm going to rate this one 4 out of 5. I personally believe in the future there'll be another Ford Anglia, maybe tied in with the TV series, or if not, going back to the movies and the books. And finally, I'd like to look at the value. And this set comes out just under 10 pence per brick, which for a licensed Harry Potter set is actually pretty reasonable. I definitely recommend picking up this iconic set. For me personally, this set means a lot. Harry Potter has been a constant source of comfort and positivity in my life, and being able to bring that world to life through Lego right here in my living room just adds to that happiness. And finally, I'd love to know what it means to you. What would your rating out of 5 be? Let me know in the comments. If Lego helps you slow down, breathe for a moment, and escape the stresses of everyday life, you're always welcome here.